Hi guys, it's Kayla and I'm back with another video. If you are new, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell and get notified and whenever I post videos. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be doing a story time of my toxic friendship that I had for like 5 years with this particular person, this particular individual. So yeah, I'll be doing a story time on this particular individual of this toxic friendship. So throughout my whole life, I've had horrible friendships. Me, toxic, backstabbers, all of those things. I've been through it. But this person that I'm about to get into, she tops them all. She was the most, craziest person I've ever encountered. Before I officially ended the friendship, we've been friends for a good 5 years, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you everything that happened within the friendship because I'll be here all day long and it's already 11 o'clock at night. I'll just go back to high school. We met in high school. She was new, and the first year of high school, the first year that she came, we wasn't friends. We just went to the same high school. Her actual second year of being there, we became friends, and that was 11th grade year. We became friends because we had the same drama class and we had the same mutual associates, so we just all kind of gravitated towards each other, and I ended up talking to her, and I don't know, we just ended up talking to each other and just being cool. The only class we had together was drama class, so that class was really nothing. All we would do is watch movies and answer questions about the movie, so it was really nothing, not a serious grade or a serious class. So she would come to school like every day telling me about like her sexual experiences, and honestly speaking, she was a promiscuous girl, and she got around, she had a little reputation sexually. So I mean, and that's really not, I don't really surround myself with people like that because they say birds of a feather flock together, and I'm not like that. I don't get down like that, but I look past that and didn't judge her because she presented herself to be cool. Like, I thought she was a cool girl, so I just looked past that. Go on, we exchanged numbers, we were just, cool in high school. We'd talk to each other, we'd speak, and that's really it. It was nothing really more than that. We didn't hang outside of school. It was just a school friend. That's it, that's all. So fast forward to the next year, which is senior year, 12th grade year, we became closer. And we had a mutual friend that was a guy. I'll call him Jake. I'll just say his name is Jake. He was our mutual friend. Before we became friends, we both was friends with him. That's how I guess. So we had a mutual friend named Jake, and she would like, basically she would use him, and he was a pushover. So it was, I guess, for her, it was easy for her to manipulate him and get things out of him. I never treated him like that because that's just not how I get down. So senior year comes, we come back to school, we was cool, we was still vibing, and like I said, she had this friend, we had a mutual friend named Jake, and she would basically manipulate him, control him, like get him to do whatever she wants. If he didn't do it, like she'll cuss him out and call him out his name and just be real rude to him. And I didn't like that. I didn't like when she would do this. So I would take up for him and have his back or whatever. And one day he did something. It was nothing major. I can't even remember what he did, but she didn't like it, so she exposed him on Instagram. So in the past, he told her something personal, and she went on Instagram exposing it and tagging him inside the post and that whole thing. Before she even did it, I told her not to do it because, like, why would you expose your friend? She called him her best friend, but she didn't listen to me. She did it anyways. Everybody in the school was mad at her and telling her how out of pocket she was and just how wrong she was. So they stopped being friends. She had this other friend who was a grade below us, and I'm gonna name her Lisa. She introduced me and Lisa to each other. Now, Lisa was a cool girl, she was pretty nice, but she wasn't the typical person I normally hung with or would hang with. But all in all, she was cool, you know what I'm saying? So the only time I would really talk to Lisa or hang with her is when I was with D. So one day, D didn't come to school, and I was totally fine by that because I had friends that I was with beside her. Like I had other people that I was with, my own little crew in school at the time that I was always with. So she didn't come to school. That was that. Lisa ended up texting me on Facebook asking me to hang with her during lunch. I knew that she didn't really have that many friends, so when she asked me, I said yes. And so lunchtime comes, we chilling, boom. And we were just talking, vibing, and getting along. And then literally she just started expressing to me how she doesn't like these ways, how self-centered and selfish she is, and just how she thinks the world revolves around her. And I was kind of surprised. I was agreeing with her because I felt the same way, because I didn't like how Dee was self-centered and self-absorbed too. So I didn't really like that either. So I was agreeing with her. Let me just say this. We wasn't really like talking about her ugly or anything like that. We were just talking about the things we don't like about her as a friend or just as a person, like the things that she do. And so I don't really consider that bad not to her or whatever. Basically, they stopped being friends. Now I'm stuck in the middle of this weird situation, and I just got introduced to Lisa. I actually like her. She's pretty cool. We get along. I have no reason to cut her off, so I didn't cut her off. So I still was being cool with her. So one day, Dee, she just did not like me being friends with her. Like basically she gave me an ultimatum. She was just like, you can't be friends with her, and you knew me first and stuff like that. And I was just like, first of all, are you my mom? Like, you're not my mom. You can't tell me who I can and cannot be with, or cannot hang with. I don't care if I knew you first, knew her first. If she's cool with me and she like don't cross the line with me, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And you just, how are you gonna just introduce me to somebody and then expect me to not be friends with them no more because y'all are at odds? She was that type of friend. Like if whoever she didn't like, you couldn't be friends with them. And I don't get down like that. I'll be friends with whoever is nice to me. So that happened. So me and her ended up getting into a good argument, and I just like, you know what, girl, I'm done. Like you not even. We're just school friends, boo, and we not even all that close. Calm down, like calm your tits. So we stopped being friends, and that happened. And then as the school year goes on, where the graduation is coming up, and for some reason around that time, we got back cool. She basically apologized to me, and I forgave her because the argument wasn't even like that deep, wasn't that serious. It was real petty and little, so I forgave her, and we became cool again. So when we graduated, a few of my classmates wanted to do like a beach day. The day after graduation, a few of my classmates was gonna go down to the beach or whatever. So she wanted to ride down with me and my friends. So I said, you know, that's fine with me. We went to the beach together. She came with us, and everything was all cool. It was fine. It was like good vibes. We were all chilling on the beach, doing our thing, having fun. We was walking off the beach, walking onto the boardwalk, and it was weird. It was like two separate groups. I was in one group, and she was in the group with us, and we was all vibing, but it was like still two separate groups. So she was in the group that I was in, and you know, somehow, some way, like we just all like separated. So one group went somewhere else, and me and my group, we went to get a funnel cake and get on rides and stuff like that. And I realized Dee wasn't in my group anymore, but I just thought maybe she's with the other group. I thought she went to the bathroom. Oh, she had to go to the bathroom, and that's what she went. So that's what happened. So we was walking up to get a funnel cake right 10 feet away. And that's that. Like we was without her for about a good 20-30 minutes. So we all chilling, vibing, eating funnel cakes. She comes cursing us out. Where the F y'all go? Why y'all leave me? Blase blase. And we looking like, girl, what are you talking about? We was getting the funnel cake, you was in the bathroom. Like, what do you mean? Like, we didn't even know. So basically she said she was lost, and like she was mad, and she started cussing everybody out. So all my friends, or my group, they were basically about to jump her, and I had to save her. So I had to save her life. I'm like, girl, you need to apologize to these people because they about to put the paws on you. She apologized. I had to save her life. But one thing about her, she just, I don't know, she goes off at the mouth, but she can't fight. And I don't know why she do that. Like, she talks so much but can't fight. After that night, I didn't really contact her afterwards. I mean, it was no beef. It was just that that date was what it was, and like that's it. So as time go on, that was in June of 2017, by the way. So time goes on. Fast forward all the way to January of 2018. By this time, you know, everyone's out of high school for a few months, and then we all doing our thing. I'm at this time working at UPS. I've been working there for a couple of months. So she ended up finding me on Instagram and contacting me and asking me how I've been and just basically saying she missed me. And so we exchanged numbers. So we just texted and she would FaceTime me, and it was cool. I used to work overnight at UPS, and my shifts were 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. I would get home, I would immediately get in the shower and go to bed. I was tired. She would call me every freaking time I got off work. Like when I got home, she would call me and had me on the phone for hours talking about nothing. Like just about drama and BS and boys and how this dude, baby mama, want to beat her up. It was just like, girl, I really just don't care. I just got off work. I'm tired. And she would never be like, do you have time to talk? Can I talk to you for a minute? Like, she would never ask those questions. She would just go in on everything she's going through, and she would never let me get a word in, and she would just always talk for hours. And then when I would interrupt her and say, listen, I'll call you back, I'm tired, she'll continue talking. And that was annoying, but I looked past it. So then fast forward, her birthday comes, and we hanging out on her birthday, boom boom. And then she ended up working at McDonald's, and she had met this girl named Kendall. I can actually say her name because me and Kendall are friends. She's on my channel. That's my girl. So I met Kendall through this person. So when I met Kendall, I was kind of surprised that she was friends with D. It's so funny because they're both the same signs, but they're total opposites. Like it's really crazy how different they are from each other. And me and Kendall, I realized when I first met Kendall, I realized me and her have so much in common. We get along. We like kind of had like the same mindset, kind of. And I was like really surprised that they was friends. All in all, we was cool. That next month, we all three went to the beach. And this is my second time being around Kendall. And me and her, we were just vibing. And she didn't say it out her mouth, but I can get the vibe that she didn't like that me and Kendall was getting along. She introduced her friends to each other, right? And she wants them to get along enough for us to all have a good time. But she don't want us to get along more than I guess we're getting along with her. Like she don't want us to become like super close, but she just wants us to get along for the sake of that day. But besides that, like she didn't want us to really like. She didn't really want to see us prosper, I guess, and flourish as friends. And it was so weird. The whole day, me and Kendall, we vibing, and we was the only ones in the water, got on the rides. She got on one ride and she cried. And we was just doing fun stuff. We was just, you know, having fun. She's on the beach on her phone. And we are actually enjoying it. We were tapped into the real life reality without the phones. And she had her phone in her hand, pretending like she's having a good time and posting it on Instagram. She's the type of person that would, like, she could be living like so horrible in real life, but on Instagram you'll think that like her life is amazing because how like the way she posts and stuff like that. Like she lived her life for social media. That day happened, and she, you know, she was like she was like kind of being distant with us because of how me and Kendall was having so much fun. Mind you, this is my second time around this girl. We had so much fun, got on the rides, and we just had fun. So after that day, me and her, we kind of drifted apart again. No beef, just drifted apart. It was like, you know, just drifted apart really. And fast forward to November of 2018, she ended up contacting me, saying that she missed me and asking me where I've been. And so we ended up getting back in contact. So me, Kendall, her, we would all hang out almost every day, just do stuff, just hang out, chill, whatever case. And this is when, I mean, I've been knew she was like a toxic individual, but this is when I really start really knowing who she was as a person and really start figuring out, okay, and realizing like, okay, she is, something is not right up here with her. And when we would get into disagreements, she would call me and Kendall haters, say that we hating off her. it would just be so like the weirdest things that she would do. Like she would literally think that me and Kendall were jealous of her. It was weird. Like if we was to get into a petty little argument, she would say stuff like, well, at least I don't live at home with my parents. Because mind you, she had moved out of her mom's house. And that's great. Like that's an accomplishment. That's a goal. Good for you. But if we have an argument, she'll throw that in our faces. Girl. And it's like, we're not embarrassed that we live at home with our people. It's like, wait, what do you mean? Like, I'm only 21. At the time, I was like 20. I'm only 21. I don't have no kids. I don't have, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I'm just thinking my bread, sis. My coins are good. Trust me when I tell you. So it was just like, she would just do weird stuff like that and just be super weird. Like, it was crazy how weird she was. And every time we got into an argument or like a little petty argument, me and Kendall never like threw personal stuff in her face. When we would try to like give her advice about certain things, and because she was like so focused on dude, and we would be like, just focus on like getting your money up, just being a better person and blah blah blah. She would literally get so mad when we'll try to give her advice and say that we're haters. Okay, boo. Do you? Me and her in particular, we used to always get into it because I started really like realizing like this girl is so, she throwed off. So me and her start getting into it more because I'm like, I'm not about to just sit here and let this girl just talk crazy to me. So we used to get into it all the time. Me and her had the most falling outs within the three of us. Me and her had the most. And it was becoming so toxic. Like one day we was like friends, next day we wasn't friends, and next week we was friends. It was weird. So one day Kendall was in school. She was in class, and me and Dee was at Dee's house. We was chilling. So Kendall had called Dee and said she was coming over. So she wanted us to meet her at Wendy's. So we was walking to Wendy's to go meet her. So one of Dee's, I guess Dee's boyfriend or the guy she was dealing with at the time, he had called her and told her to meet him on whatever block. So she completely dismiss Kendall and go try to see him. We are literally in the midst of going to meet Kendall. Her ain't just gonna like, oh, X that out and go meet this dude. She's on the phone with the guy. So she tried to like, I guess, show off for him and start cussing me out and calling me all types of B's and stuff. So I'm like, basically she was trying to be smart, and we got into an argument because you're not gonna sit here and trying to like play me in front of your little dude. Like, no. We got into an argument, so I ended up leaving her and dipping off and walking off to meet Kendall at Wendy's. I'm like telling Kendall what happened, whatever. So Dee ended up coming like 10 minutes later. So she walks in, walks right past me, didn't say nothing. So I'm like, okay, I don't care. Like, I don't really care. We all walking. So I'm just like, I don't even feel like being here because like I just feel like your energy, I'm not liking it. So I just want to go home. So we walking around for a little bit. So then we go back to, we welcome back to Dee's house. In my head, I already got it set up that I'm leaving. I'm not going to just stay in your house and be in your presence when I'm not really feeling your vibe right now. I don't want to be in your presence. You know what I mean? So I already had in my mind that I'm going home. All I had to do was get my charger from out her house, and I was going to dip off because no. So as we walk back to her house, I'm ordering me a Lyft. So we get back to our house. I get my charger. I said, all right, I'm leaving, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Just like that. Real calm, real cool. So I get my charger, go outside, my Lyft out there. So I get in the car, I go home. So that happened. I was just like real done with her. So we stopped talking for like a couple of days. And then like the next week or whatever, she contacted me and said she was sorry, how she was acting and stuff like that. I forgave her. And so as time go on, we still friends, and I'm not really liking her ways, but all in all, we were still friends. So on her birthday of 2019, she wanted to go to this fancy restaurant, and we went with her. It was really expensive. Me and Kendall only had a salad because it was so expensive. Like, girl. After that, we went down South Street to go chill and just walk around and have fun. Y'all, why did she was talking to this dude, this new dude. And she told him to meet us down South Street. So they're cuffed up walking together while me and Kendall was like off to the side looking like dummies. I'm like, why would you call him and be cuffed up while this is supposed to be like your birthday, and like girls, she literally was walking off on him. And then Kendall, like, Kendall, I remember we was walking and they're like way in front of us, and we like behind them, like way behind them. Kendall was calling her and she was straight ignoring her. So we like, she is too weird for me. Like she's very weird. Like I don't know. So me and Kendall were just saying like how like she's so weird, and just like she just do weird stuff. Like just when Kendall was calling her and she was ignoring Kendall, we like, why is she acting like weird? So she ended up leaving us. She gets on the train and she dipped off with this dude. So me and Kendall, we just went home and we was on the train just talking. We was like, yeah, that girl, she really like, she's weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so weird. She'll be mad when dudes try to talk to Kendall and not her. Listen, I don't get mad. If my friends getting played, I don't get played, I'm cool with that. Like, go ahead, sis, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm encouraging my friends to go out there and do their thing. Not like that, but like, she would be really mad when she don't get no attention and the attention is not on her. She'll get so mad. She didn't have it all up here at all. Didn't have it all. She did not like me being friends with nobody else. She wanted to be the only friend I had. And that was strange because it's like, how old are we? You have other friends besides me, and I'm cool with that. I don't care. But I can't have other friends beside you. That's so weird. When I would hang with my other friends, she would be blowing my phone up. Like, it's like, girl, are you my husband or something like that? Like, are you my husband, girl? Like, last time I checked, I wasn't into the females. I was into men. So I'm confused as to why you have to hit me up and blow my phone up as if we're some type of exclusive relationship. That made me so like turned off by her. I'm like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, I can have other friends. You have other friends. I don't care. Like, you know, it was just so weird. Me, Kendall, and Dee ended up going to New York in July of 2019. I was going by myself initially with a friend of mine that lives in New York because I was going to a concert. Dee and Kendall ended up coming along, but they wasn't going to go to the concert with me. They were just going to go and do their thing, and I was going to go to the concert. So I was with them for like the beginning of the day, and then once it was time for me to go to the concert, I went to the concert with my friend that already lives in New York. So, and that whole day, even before the concert, she was annoying me so bad. She was complaining about everything. She was just being obnoxious, and just, oh my gosh, it was just so much she was doing that drained me that day. I was so glad I didn't have to be with her all day. I was so glad I had a concert to go to. I felt bad for Kendall because she was with her all day. I just was slowly pulling away from her, and I was hanging with other people, and she was not liking that, which made me pull away from her even more, because when you just act too territorial over me, it's a turn off. So I did not like that. So I was like really slowly but surely gravitating from her, or drifting from her. What's this? Mentally, I already cut her off. You know, I wasn't calling her, I wasn't texting her, I wasn't hanging with her, I cut her off. So one day she called me, and we had this whole debacle on the phone, and basically we stopped being friends. I was cool with it. I didn't care, because I was done with her. But I can say that I did, on my part, I probably should have expressed or been more vocal about how I was feeling towards her, about, you know, me being annoyed with her, how territorial she was. I wasn't really expressing that too much. So that's the part I played in it. I might have should have moved differently and told her how I felt, but I didn't. So that's that. That was in August of 2019. Yeah. So fast forward, we wasn't friends for a good minute. And then this year of May, so May 2020 is when we got back in contact again for the last time. This was it. Got back in contact, and you know, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe she might be different this time. Maybe she might be more of a better friend, and you know, not so self-centered and disrespectful and just all the bad things. Maybe she just, you know, a better friend this time. Nope, she was still the same person. She was still literally the same person, if not worse. Like, she was very just a nasty individual. And I'm not trying to be smart. On stuff, she was like, yeah, I'm nasty, I'm disrespectful, I don't care. And she would think that it's cute. Like, she think it's cute to be rude and a bitch. Like, she would say this about her own self, and she would say it as if it's a good thing. One day I had mentioned to her and Kendall that I was trying to start selling mixed drink. So I mentioned that to them, and they were like, okay, that's cool, boom, boom. The next day or two, she ends up FaceTiming me asking can she do it with me. I was a little hesitant about it because I just wanted to do it by myself. But I said, okay, you can do it with me. So I let her do it with me. You know what, since you know you're now doing it with me, let's bring Kendall, because why not? Let's make it a group thing. So we all three started doing the drinks together, and me and Kendall did all the work. We came up with the names of the drinks, We came up with the prices and just everything that became of the drink business that we started. Me and Kendall came up with it. We made all the drinks. The only thing she really did was help contribute financially. She brought a lot of customers in because she had like 3 Instagram accounts that had thousands of followers, so she did that. But besides that, she didn't really do much. And she would just do weird stuff. She would say weird stuff like, yeah, I started this business and this is my business and I started this, I started that. Yeah, she would just say weird stuff like, Kendall, you didn't bring no customers in. And just weird stuff. And it's like, why are you being weird? Because Kendall, me and her came up with all the names of the drink, came up with the prices. We're more business savvy than you, so why are you trying to downplay her part? In her head, she really felt like she started the business. So I was just more and more peeping like, like, why am I back friends with you? I was just like disturbed by her. One day she had ate an edible, and she has really low tolerance for like alcohol and weed. So like the littlest thing could make her high or drunk. So we told her not to eat the edible fast. It was going to hit her hard, and she has low tolerance. All in all, she didn't listen to the edible really fast. She was high as a kite. She was tweaking, she was crying, she was acting really like strange. She was just like saying like off the wall stuff to me, and I let it slide because she's high. But I feel like you know what you're saying, you know what you're doing. It was time for us to re-up on the drinks and buy more fruit and juice and alcohol and stuff like that, and more bottles. So me and Dee got up early, went to the stores and got the stuff, and that whole day she was chilling, she was cool, she was, you know, not really bothering me. She was acting pretty cool. So Kendall was on her way down, and when she got to Dee's house, she again, I think she rung the doorbell or knocked on the door, something like that. So she called me a B and told me to go get the door. Somehow I was like, girl, who you talking to? Don't play with me. So I went to go get the door, and I let Kendall in. So she started calling me all types of B's. So we just got into an argument because I was fed up with her. I was done. I was like, not having it. Like, she was just going too far. It was so random and weird because like out the blue she started calling me all types of B's, and it was like, where is this coming from? So because all day you was acting real cool. So the things that she was saying previously when she was high, it was about my mom. She was trying to like be funny and be smart. So we got into a big argument, and we were like this close to fighting. I had to leave because I really felt myself going to jail that day. Because at the time when we was arguing, we was also like trying to make the drinks, cutting the fruit. So I had a knife in my bag for the fruit, of course. But I picked up the knife and I was walking towards her, and I literally had to stop myself. She was really getting disrespectful. I had to get, you know, a little gritty back with her because this ain't that, sis. I literally had to pull myself back and go home. So I get to my car and I dip off because I'm like, friends. We was back friends again for like literally less than a month, and she blew it. So Kendall, and I think Kendall texted me and asked me if I was okay. I texted her back and I basically told her that I'm done being Dee's friend. You can still be her friend. I'm done with the shorty because she just. The next day, Kendall and Dee ended up having a falling out because Dee was lying on Kendall, saying some stuff. So they ended up having a falling out, and me and Kendall was just like, we were just done with her. We wanted our cut and whatever she sold because we put money into it. So we just didn't want anything to do with her. She was giving us the runaround and not really trying to pay us our money that she owed us because we put money into those drinks. She would just make lies up as to why she couldn't give us the money. So after a while, I was like, girl, you can keep the money. I don't even want the money no more because you're dragging it. So Kendall, she still wanted her money. So she ended up blocking us on Instagram and blocking us on the phone, and she owed us money. And so I had to make a fake Instagram account to DM her, asking her for the money for Kendall because she was blocking us on everything. I'm like, why are you sitting here blocking us when you are the toxic one, when you are the one that, you know, owe somebody money? After us not being friends with her for like a week or two, she ends up texting me and she says, I quote, she said, tell your friend to watch her mouth because nobody disrespect her or worried about her, and I will still pay her when I get the money. Then she said, she said, tell her I try to be nice to her ugly. So I said, you can unblock her because I'm not playing messenger. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth between the both of y'all and say, oh, she said this, she said that. You can simply go to your phone, unblock her, and tell her everything you need to tell her. I'm not the messenger, baby. I said, you know damn well Kendall not ugly because she called Kendall ugly. You know Kendall is not ugly. Like, how you know when somebody's mad, like extra mad because they start saying anything? We texting like double texting me 1 5 6 7 8. She double texted me 10 times. So I said, can you text her because I really don't care. And then she kept on double texting me, and then she said, I'm not even texting her back. She just keep on texting me. And then she says, I don't live with parents. Like I said, she used to always say I don't live with my parents when we would get into arguments. So why are you texting me? You live, I don't care that you live in your own, sis. You live in a freaking box. Like, and like, it's amazing that you can move out on your own. That's amazing. But don't sit here and try to like downplay me and Kendall that we still live with our parents. And when you know what I'm saying, you're struggling, you know what I mean? And it's okay to struggle because everyone has struggles. Everyone has a struggle in their life at a time. Like, we all want to have struggles. But stop trying to downplay our situation as if you're living this lavish life. I just hate that so much. So when she said that, I started saying some stuff back to her because, okay, you don't live with your parents, but you're not living well off, and you're doing stuff for money, baby girl. You're doing things for money. Like, stop. So we start having a whole argument. You're not living with your mom or your parents, but you're also not living the best life on your own either. So you're trying to downplay us. The whole time you have to do certain things to pay your rent. Yeah. So no, in the message and stuff like that, when we was going back and forth, she was like, yeah, I got money, I get money all the time, I can buy Gucci, Louis, all of this. Mind you, the only Gucci thing she owned was a Gucci bracelet. Like, and if that's your life goal, to own designer, your priorities are so out of line. Like, girl, you need to like make sure your rent is paid. But yeah, so that was that, and I had cut that off back in June, baby, because that was just too much of a toxic person. I'm very much so glad I can honestly say with my whole chest that I would never be friends with her ever in my life. I just would never be friends with a person like that ever again. She was too toxic, she was disrespectful, she was not a good friend, she was self-centered, she was territorial. I can honestly say the only good thing that came out of that friendship was me meeting Kendall. Kendall's my good sis, that's my dog, that's just that. So I hope y'all enjoy that story time on that friendship, and I have a lot of story times, so I'll be dropping some soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.